This is a tribute to Rebbetzin Chave Hecht, who passed away on Zion Oder several days ago. The yahrzeit and the birthday of Moshe Rabbeinu. So that itself shows what type of special woman she was. And in the Chabad world, Rebbetzin Hecht is credited for 65 years or so running Camp Emuna, the flagship camp of all Chabad girls' camps worldwide. And I could say for sure that no one in Chabad today there's no one that hasn't been touched by Camp Emuna. Why? Because either they themselves were campers there, or counselors, or staff members, or they have rabbis and Rebbetzins, or Rebbetzins in this case, that were associated with Camp Emuna. So, Camp Emuna, as the Rebbe saw it when they started it back in 1955 or 56, in their mid-50s, together with her late husband, Rabbi Yaakov Yehuda, Rabbi J.J. Hecht, all of Hasholem, and they were Moser v'Nosen, dedicated completely to this camp. I had the privilege about 20 years ago to interview Rebbetzin Hecht. She told me amazing things. I included it it was an interview about her late husband, about Rabbi Hecht, and I included it in my chapter in the book Husu and Lubavitch, Volume 1. And every year, Baruch Hashem, it's shared on the internet for his yahrzeit, Tu B'Shvat, I believe. I'm sorry, Tu B'Av. But anyway, one of the things she told me was that the Rebbe showed such pleasure and such encouragement to Camp Emuna, both during the lifetime of Rabbi Hecht and even after his lifetime. And there was no let-up. Camp Emuna to the Rebbe was as holy as Merkez L'Yonei Chinuch is. Now, you could say it's my opinion, you could disagree, it's up to you. However, this Camp Emuna is the Ikeres, creating the Ikeres Abayas of the future Lubavitcher home, the Jewish mother, the Chabad mother, the Chassid and Chassidiste. We also know that Rabbi Hecht was responsible, and it continues today, for release time, where hundreds of thousands of children from the 40s till today have gone through release time, public school children mostly, and others. And we know that Rebbe was so indebted to him for this, and that this was, again, a priority to the Rebbe. And Rebbetzin Hecht was right there along with him. You know, when you have a large family, and they had a large family, Baruch Hashem, and I comfort them on this opportunity, especially my good friend Shimon, Rabbi Shimon Hecht. And we grew up together in these Flatbush. My father and Rabbi Hecht would walk together to the Fabrengen, so there was a friendship between the families. He had a large family, and he was a rabbi of a prominent shul in East Flatbush. In addition to being the national director of the National Committee, the director of the National Committee, and we know all the Shalom bias issues that he handled inside Kranites, outside Kranites, saving souls, Pashit saving the Shamas, and his sons continue that way with anti-Shmad programs, cult busting. It goes on and on. The Hecht family is a staple in the world of Judaism, of Torah Judaism, of Orthodox Judaism, and in the world of Lubavitch. And Rebbetzin Hecht put it all together. If not for her, you can be a great man, a great philosopher, and have great ideas, but There's no Shalom Bayis, there's no this. Rebbetzin Hecht and Rebbe Hecht were a unit. A unit that went strong and did so much together. So when we talk about her passing, and we talk about such a person who also happened to be a teacher in Beis Nifki years ago, her love for another Yid was palpable. It really was. I remember talking to her during this interview about issues that come up in our community, and she said to me, she said, a Yid's a Yid. If he's Lubavitch, it's Matayv Manoyim. He's not Lubavitch. He's still a Yid, and we have to love him, and we have to really care and do whatever we can. And both she and her husband, Rabbi Hecht, lived this way. For example, in Camp Emuna, they employed not Lubavitcher staff. Why? Because they were right for the job. They didn't discriminate. It was the Rebbe's camp, no question about it. But the message was Torah, Yiddishkeit, survival of the Jewish home, love and harmony, peace. And I think if one thing we take for Rebbetzin Hecht is her passion and her direction and forthrightness. You know that she led that camp. I was talking to my sister who was a camper in Camp Emuna in the early 70s. And I asked her, tell me something about Rebbetzin Hecht. I'm going to say a few words on the video for the Olam, for people to hear. And she said, I don't know much, but all I know is that she ran that camp in such a gewaldige way. She was on top of it. She did not allow anyone to push her around, shove her around. She was the captain. She was the captain of the ship. And she ran a gewaldige ship. So we benefit from that. And the camp developed to have other programs, team programs, shlichus programs, all kinds of different programs that they brought in, other people to benefit Chabad girls in particular, to become the future leaders, shluchos and balabustas, and everyone in their way committed to opening your house, bringing people in, and being a geschmacke, a pleasant yid, because that's what it's about. So, the Kitzen of Arangler Sheikh Ne'ofer Rebbetzin Hecht should be back with us very shortly through Tchias HaMesim, through the Geula Shlema, with Bias HaMashiach, Bekar of Mamish, Yerushalayim, Yerushalayim, Yerakodesh, B'mhedev Yameinu, Amen, V'Amen.